Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Hey, Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Hey, I was just calling because I was wondering if you had any good advice on a good workout. I'm about 150 pounds, but I'm mostly muscle, and I'd like to gain a little bit weight of muscle mass, but I didn't know a healthy way to do that.
Well, what have you been doing? I mean, you're working out now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many days a week are you working out?
Usually about 3. I mean, I do a lot of, like construction-like work, so it's very, that's the big part of my workout is that. So I do a lot of athletic stuff, basketball, tennis, stuff like that. So,
well, if you're doing that much activity, it's going to be really hard for you to gain weight. So if you're doing unless you eat a lot. So what does your meal structure look like in a day's time? Like if you're doing that much activity, how many times a day do you eat right now? 3?
Yeah, at least 3.
Okay.
I eat quite a bit.
Okay, so give me, what did you have today? Knock it out. Go ahead. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay, let's see. For breakfast, I had a bowl of cereal. For lunch, I had some ravioli and some lasagna and spaghetti. And I also had a snack between breakfast and lunch of a boiled egg. Then for dinner, I think I just had a snack wrap.
Okay.
From McDonald's.
So you're eating, if you want to gain weight and you're doing that much activity, you're eating like a bird. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you're barely eating.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, you're barely eating at all. So let me show you what this would look like. You're hardly getting any protein. And protein is the building block for muscle. And so, for example, you want to gain weight, here's what a day would look like. You would work out 3 days a week like you're doing now. You keep your workout under 45 minutes. And you'd work out at a high-intensity pace where you'd no more than a minute rest in between your sets. Now, that's first things first. And then if you're doing all this construction and all that, I'd probably cut down on some of the basketball and the tennis and all that you're playing. Now, this is if you want to gain muscle, okay? So a typical eating day would look like this. You wake up, you probably do 5 whole organic eggs cooked in coconut oil or butter, and you would do a bowl of fresh berries of some kind, and you could even add in maybe a sweet potato for breakfast. I know it sounds kind of gross, but the complex carbs would be helpful for you. Now, then for mid-morning, 10 a.m., you'd want to do a meal replacement that's made from whey protein that would be hormone-free and antibiotic-free, like Food Balance. It's a really good product. So you do that, and then, of course, at lunchtime, you would go with probably vegetables, a good piece of meat or chicken or fish, and even another sweet potato or some brown rice, and then snack in the afternoon around 3 o'clock would be another protein shake. The reason you want to do the shake in between the meals is it helps with digestion. When you're looking to gain weight, you have to eat more, but you still want to optimize digestion as well. And that's why the liquid in between, the body has already digested that big meal at lunch after a 3-hour period, and then you can have something liquid, which it'll digest a lot quicker, and then set you up for a next meal around 6 o'clock for dinner. So dinner, same thing. You'd want to go vegetables, probably a starchy carb like brown rice or a sweet potato, and you want to have your healthy fats too. So half an avocado, handful of walnuts or almonds or whatnot, and you can add in some healthy fats too at your snacks in between 10 and 3. And, like a handful of nuts or whatever you enjoy that has good healthy fats to it. And then maybe one more shake before you go to bed, about an hour before bedtime. So that's 6 meals right there. Now, if you follow that for 6 to 8 months on a regular basis, that's just something that's a pretty standard protocol, okay? If you did some research along with some natural health guys and different nutritionists, that's along the lines of a typical meal plan for someone that wanted to gain weight and gain muscle. And you do that for about 6 to 8 months if you choose to do something like that. and you'll definitely gain the weight because you're getting the calories in that your body needs. You're getting them on a consistent basis, and your body's going to function at a really, really good level. You're going to put good lean quality muscle on. You're not going to store a bunch of body fat at that doing it that way. But it's the activity, so it's going to be a counterbalance of increasing the calories and slightly decreasing your activity level. Because you're not a huge guy, but in the 150s, for you to put on 20 pounds of muscle without fat, that'd be a lot. I mean, you'd look real muscular at that point. You'd probably be stronger too. But if you'll keep up some of the activity and some of the basketball and all that, you won't lose your agility either. I mean, that's the way to do it. If you want to gain muscle, you have to eat and eat like a wild man. I would stay away from a lot of the flour-based foods. I talk about that a lot. If you listen to the show, I talk about staying away from grains and that sort of thing. And it's not just because they're going to make you fat or they raise blood sugar or any of that. It's just they're not that great a quality. You can do some gluten-free breads or pasta if you want to, but they just don't do a whole lot for the body. They're just kind of dead nutrients. They don't have they really don't have much of anything to offer. And so by including them in your diet, you're not doing anything but just kind of adding in dead calories. You always want to eat food that was originally designed for the body. And, white bread and pasta and those sorts of things just really weren't made for our bodies. We've made that. Man made that. And so picking your food choices for gaining muscle, pretty darn important. And I'll tell you this, it's very easy to do. You can do it without using steroids and drugs and all that. And you can do it well. But it's about being smart and making good choices. And that should be very, very helpful.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Asa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to AsaRx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, visit the show online.
I guess you've attempted all kinds of methods, whether it's traditional medicine and natural as well. And have you had any relief at all? I mean, even taking probiotics and enzymes, really not much relief?
Like I said, it would, I'd be fine for 4 or 5 weeks or so, and then the pattern would start up again. Just not digesting, I guess, because, my bowels just won't move, and so I have to go out and buy some prune juice because I won't take the laxative things. Mm-hmm. And, that works, and it gets it started again, but it's like that shouldn't happen. And I guess I've just been brushing it off as age because it's just getting more and more frequent.
And what about your diet, though? Is it good?
Oh, very good. Pretty boring, but yeah. I have I'm just like every day. It's pretty much the same thing because it's just what I like. I don't like a lot, but I'll have strawberries and a couple of eggs for breakfast and coffee, decaf. And then at lunch, I have a big old monster salad. And the only dressing I use is tahini, just because I like sesame, and it's a natural oil.
Right.
And I'll have usually a little bit of salmon with it, and that's about it. And then supper is some more salmon with the rest of the salad that I didn't eat at lunch, because I really can't eat a whole lot at one time. It hurts my stomach.
Have you been diagnosed
full really quick?
Have you been diagnosed with any conditions at all? You taking medicine for anything?
No, never.
Never. Okay. Do you get a lot of reflux?
No, I've never had acid reflux or heartburn. I'm really lucky on that one. I'm knocking on wood there. Because that's everybody in my family has a problem with that, and I've never had it, thank goodness.
When you say you have lousy digestion, though, what is it, a lot of gas and bloating?
No, well, I don't get the gas, and but I guess bloated. Yes, I always feel full, just stuffed. And like I said, I don't eat a lot, which is probably why I eat what I do. But I'd say maybe a half a cup to a cup's worth of food at a time, and I mean I'm done. I just feel so full. It's just like it just doesn't want to move or go anywhere.
Have you checked at all? Have you ever done any more acid alkaline pH balancing within your body? Have you had anyone check that?
I don't know if that's specifically what she did. I know when she takes my blood to do my blood work,
yeah,
she takes like 6 vials.
Sure.
So she's checking for all kinds of crazy things.
I would look into a couple of that. I would look and make sure. I mean, they're going to check the blood pH, but I would have her check urine pH as well as saliva pH, and make sure that your body's not too acidic. There's the 2 ranges. You can be acidic or you can be more alkaline. And a lot of times when people get gas and bloating, that can be one of the causes. The other, if they haven't checked too much, if you're doing the probiotics, and your diet sounds good, by the way, just by what you listed out. Making sure that you're getting plenty of omega-3 fatty acids like fish oil, the actual oil itself, not the gel caps, that's a big one too. But probiotics play a big role. And if you're already doing those, that's a great thing. I would look into if they're doing any testing on you or have the ability to, or you can go to a doctor fairly easily. Look into possible fungal-related issues within the gut and also parasitic-type infections in the gut as well. They can be kind of lingering down there. And a lot of times when you get the gas and the bloating or just the excess of bloating all the time, feel full all the time, there's definitely a flora issue, without a doubt, or there's some kind of issue going on in the gut. And if it's been going on for a long time, that's something they can look into. Wormwood and black walnut both are really good too. They can be great detoxifiers and great cleaners within the digestive tract. And again, you can get all that at, of course, health food stores and whatnot. Fasting is good too for a partial day fast. That's not a big deal. And you can do vegetable juices and whatnot. There's a real good way to do that. You can look online. I've got some tips on that in my book as well. But yeah, there's several things you can do to get the gut cleaned out. And I'm sure you've probably seemingly tried everything. One other issue, unfortunately, there's been a real strong link to antidepressants and gut motility, meaning how well the gut functions and as far as the bacteria and whatnot, how well that happens as far as it functioning. So something to look into. I would check into all of those. I would look into the black walnut too and the wormwood. Those can be very, very helpful. There's certain ways to do that, and I'm sure they'll walk you through it at whatever health food store that you go to figure that out. And one key, too, when you got a lot of the excess, the bloating after you eat at dinner time, the gallbladder tends to work better in the evenings. And there's also a component in beets, red beets, that can be very helpful. You steam a red beet. I'm a bigger fan of actually getting the red beet itself rather than the canned beets and whatnot. And you steam a red beet for about 15 minutes. You cut it up, put it on a salad. And a lot of times it can help increase gut motility. It can help with bowel movements, but also it can help with the bacterial flora as well. So a lot of times when you have just bloating that's been going on for a long time, no one can pinpoint it, and you've got what you have going on in your tongue. That tongue is definitely a clear-cut issue of what's going on inside the gut, no doubt. Deficiency, not so much. I think it's more either fungal, bacterial, along those lines. And that's just my thought. I haven't seen the test. I am not, I'm not your technical doctor. Those are just my thoughts from things that I've researched and studied and seen. And I think you should get another opinion either from her or from someone else and have them dig a little bit deeper. That might be helpful. All right. Thanks so much for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Calvin in New York writes us, I've been on an exercise routine for the last year or so, and it seems like I've stalled out as far as building muscle. I'm very afraid of the stuff they sell bodybuilders. So what should I do? Well, those are all the testosterone boosters and whatnot. You can guarantee and take your bottom dollar that it's full of a bunch of fillers, and the whey protein is absolute garbage. Do not put that stuff in your body. Terrible. The other is glutamine. Glutamine is one of the best kept secrets of people that work out. And here's why. Glutamine is an amino acid. It's the most abundant amino acid in all skeletal muscle. and we lose it very quickly. It's one of the number one amino acids that our body uses for the immune system. So if you get low in glutamine, the chances of you getting sick are pretty strong because the immune system drops. And just 5 grams a day, they say in studies. And again, a lot of these supplements have had some really good studies behind them, especially the protein powders and even creatine monohydrate, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. But glutamine has some incredible studies that it increase not only growth hormone, which is our youth hormone, but it increases all the IgGs and all the different components, IgA, IgM, all the different components of our immune system. It increases by up to 300% when you take glutamine. I mean, it is the best kept secret, and it increases what we call nitrogen retention, which allows the muscle tissue to stay in an anabolic state, not a catabolic state. Anabolism means, sounds a funny word, sounds like cannibalism, but anabolism or staying anabolic means your body's in a state of growth. Catabolism is in a state of decreasing, meaning it's kind of eating away at your body. You're decreasing your muscle mass. So those are very, very important terms, and the glutamine can really be a big key. People that struggle with cancer and whatnot, a lot of them, there's been a lot of tips you can read through research papers and whatnot where certain doctors have used glutamine and have been very helpful in sustaining some of their muscle mass during chemotherapy and whatnot. So it's very potent. And we do get it from our foods, but we also lose it rapidly. And so if you're under a lot of training, you're working out a lot, you're under a lot of stress in life, you do a lot of manual or physical exercise, glutamine can be a very big beneficial amino acid to help your body recover, not have so much lactic acid build up and be sore. It's a big one. So the other one, vitamin C, always a big key, helps you recover from workouts. Very important. And then, you're just your basic foundational 4 if you're looking into certain things like that. So that's your whole food multivitamin, that digestive enzymes, cod liver oil, and your probiotics. Those are all extremely important. So building muscle, yes. It's about calories. It's about protein levels. They're saying now 1 gram to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight is the official standard. And then, of course, keeping your fats at a good level, 20% minimum, is going to keep your testosterone level up to 25%. And then, of course, carbohydrates. I always say fruits and vegetables, but if you're working out trying to gain muscle, it's pretty important to add in a little bit of starchy carbohydrates. So sweet potatoes and brown rice would be the ones of choice, and just use them sparingly. Middle of the day, don't do too much at night, and that can help keep the body fat low but keep the muscle strength high, and little tips like that. But if you're hitting a stagnation point, it may be that you're either working out too much, what we call overtraining. So it's where your body can't recover from the workouts that you're doing. You're constantly tearing it down because you remember, you don't get bigger and stronger and leaner in the gym. It's when you're outside of the gym based on the work that you've done inside the gym, if you're working out all the time. When you tear down the body, you're not growing. You're tearing it down, and that's what happens in the gym. It's what you do with the foods that you eat and the rest that you get outside of the gym that's going to determine the growth that you have and breaking through that plateau. So don't be afraid of a lot of the supplements. Keep it simple. Creatine monohydrate is another one. It's been out for about 20 years now. As a matter of fact, we tested it at Florida State on the athletes when I was there, and they got incredible results. Incredible. So they've said that 5 grams a day is very important. Always after a workout is the best. Can replenish your ATP stores. It's non-toxic, but make sure you're over about the age of 18 if you do that, and drink plenty of water.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Asa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
They're on the rise a little bit. Elena Kulina, who is a physician at the CDC and also an epidemiologist, said they use a national database and is checking out about 1,000 hospitals. And there's been strokes during pregnancy and after childbirth that have increased at an alarming rate. The researchers compared these statistics from 1994 to 2006, and what they found was about 50% increase in all strokes, she says. And the pregnancy-related strokes totaled about 4,000, and now they're increasing to about 6,000. So Catalina says that the rising rates of high blood pressure as well as other factors are to blame. And the study was published in Stroke, which is the Journal of the American Heart Association. And it's interesting because vascular conditions, heart-related conditions are increasing. They're on the rise, and we're seeing them more and more. And I think that, the more we can do from a preventative standpoint, obviously for lifestyle factors and lifestyle choices, because it's not just genetics. Our genetics are not just getting worse and people are stroking out more. It's that we're becoming more sedentary, we're eating a poorer diet, and we're not really following what we know to follow, to do what we need to do, to live very, very powerful, healthy lives. So there has to be a change, and a pretty significant change at that. And really, unless we step up to the plate and begin to teach the younger generation how to eat healthy, how to live healthy, how to make better lifestyle choices, nothing's going to change. And that's the sad part. So education is the key. Teaching people is the key. And having people learn more than ever is the key. And that's what we have to do. 888-283-7272. Let's go to Willie. Willie, welcome to the show. Good to talk with you.
Yeah, I want to know what about sugar-free drinks?
Usually not that good. It depends. Now, if you're talking about diet sodas and diet drinks, most of them are not, especially the commercialized ones, simply because of the sweeteners that they use. They can be potentially toxic to the body. Most of the artificial sweeteners, except Truvia, they're not broken down very well, so they can cause some dissension. They can cause some bloating. And, of course, with Equal, or not just so much the brand, the aspartame can be a little bit challenging to the body. There's some studies against that. And also Splenda, so you want to be just a little bit careful, or the sucralose, rather. So, there's mixed reviews and different studies that people have seen regarding that. I am a big fan of Truvia, which has stevia extract in it. And you can get that now at most all the grocery stores, and you can put that in your tea. You can put that with some freshly squeezed fruit and water and make your own drink with seltzer water. If you like to make sodas, that's a great way to do that. But they do make some other, as far as drinks go, they do have some out there. Hansen's makes some that are made with stevia if you want some flavoring that goes into your water or whatnot. But, yeah, most of the standardized sugar-free drinks are ones you should avoid, simply because of the sweeteners and some of the other fillers and some of the chemicals that they put in them, and specifically potassium benzoate or sodium benzoate. Little tip on that, just on that note, is they've done a study recently with sodium benzoate or potassium benzoate, which is in just about every soda and in most of your flavored drinks. When it's mixed with vitamin C, it literally can change the DNA within the body. And it can shut down specific genetic codes within the body that can tell you that you're full. There's a mechanism we have in our body that's genetic programming that will tell us when we're full. And a lot of times they put the sodium benzoate, potassium benzoate in the diet drinks because that's what most people that are trying to lose weight drink. And when they do it over and over and over again for a long period of time, it begins to shut down their satiety center. And you don't realize when you're full, people get eating and they overeat, even with healthy food. And it can make them gain weight from the excess calories. So just be careful. There's a lot of chemicals in the sugar-free drinks. And it's not just like lemon and stevia. There's about 20 different things in there if you'll read through the ingredient list. And, Willie, that's really, really important if you're looking to optimize your health. And if you're looking to live better, if you're looking to have more energy, and you're looking to feel better, you just have to be a little bit smarter about the way you go about things. Remember, you want to keep it simple. So if you like lemonade, don't go out and buy lemonade that's got all the chemicals in it. Get a glass of distilled water, cut a lemon, squeeze the lemon in the water, put 2 packets of Truvia in there and some ice, and you've got lemonade. Knock yourself out. Or if you like sodas, get some seltzer water, get your favorite fruit, squeeze it in there like an orange or tangerine or whatever, squeeze it in there, and then put you a packet or so of Truvia, and it tastes just like any soda that you would enjoy. So, again, it's about making better choices. You don't have to give up everything you love, but it's just about, just kind of going it from a different way. And if you do that, you're going to end up winning the game of health, because a lot of the foods that we have out there, unfortunately, are not designed to keep us healthy. They're designed to get us sick, and they're designed for convenience, and they're not really optimal for health. And you just want to eat food in the way it was originally designed, and that's whether it's drinks or whether it's foods, whatever it is. So the sugar-free kick is not always the best way to go, because a lot of times they'll replace the fat that was in there and the sugar with other fillers, and that can be damaging to the body. So with health challenges like diabetes, when you think you should avoid sugar, which you should, just be careful for the options that you pick. In my book, Empowering Your Health, I talk a lot about that. I talk a lot about what options there are when you're dealing with diabetes. As far as going sugar-free, food options, there's a lot of that in there that might be a great resource for you. Thanks so much for the call, Willie. Puts another hour in the charts. I'd like to thank our producer. Just go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to On Call, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time. When it comes to your health, remember that man may have but only God can give the prognosis. We'll be right back.
AsaRx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora. For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the AsaRx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.